Hey friends, it's Lisa with Hand Stamped with Lisa Pretto. So happy to have you joining me today. I am back, I know. So I popped on yesterday and I shared some holiday gift tags with you. And I promised that I was going to come back today because we are starting back up our Wednesday craft and chat. So just a time for me to share what I'm working on, the projects that I have, and to chat a little bit with you, right? So that I can spend time talking about what's going on in the world. Well, probably not that, because it seems like there's an awful lot going on in the world that we are just better off not thinking about. But I do have a darling card that I'm going to share with you today. I'm super excited about it. It is a holiday card because 'tis the season. 'Tis the season. We've had snow on the ground. I've got 2 little trees up. I'm holding off on the rest because I'm hosting Thanksgiving. So you can't have your house all, well, I mean, you probably can if it really is important to you. But I always feel like if I'm hosting Thanksgiving, I'm going all in on Thanksgiving. And Christmas will get put up probably the day after because I do like a nice long holiday season. So let me show you the card that I'm going to share with you today. I'm super excited about it. It is this darling card. And so this is from the Jolly Delivery stamp set. And then I think it's the North Pole Delivery. I better check because you know how I am with names. The North Pole Delivery Designer Series paper is really the star of the show because who can resist cute dogs with little packages? Look at Dressed Like an Elf, darling. Open here, open here. So cute. I'm obsessed with this. I love this. And with this designer series paper, I wanted to show you something. So it's got all sorts of cute designed paper, but then it has these sheets where you actually just pop these guys out. So there's all like woodland creatures and bears, dogs. Then there's all little letters. There's one sheet that has little houses. Super, super cute. But that is what I'm going to showcase you today. Is this sweet little card. So let's get to making this little fella. So cute, right? So let's talk a little bit about what you need. So we're going to have a piece of blue cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and a piece of red, exactly the same size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this is so we can cover our work, which will make more sense as we go along. And then I have some pieces of white. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, no, 4 by 5, blah, blah, blah. 4 by 5 1/4 because this is going to be our inside piece. And then I also have a 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then one that's a little bit smaller that sits 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So these two sizes. And then I've got a piece of real red, and this real red is going to be 4 1/4 by 3, and then I've just scored it at a 1/4 inch here. Can you see that? I just scored it at that 1/4 inch and gave it a nice fold. It's going to help us make our fancy fold card. And then a piece of the blue, which is going to be 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, and again scored at that 1/4 line. All right, so let's get to making this. I also have 2 pieces here that are designer series paper from that North Pole delivery set. So that'll be really cute as well. So let's get to the pieces we need to start with first, and we're going to go here. So we've got this smaller piece of Whisper White, or I think it's Basic White. You can tell I've been around a long time. I don't know the names of all of the new things, and I always go old school. So we're just going to take this piece of blue and put it right on the bottom of that piece of white. And then we're going to take this one. It is just this really beautiful kind of red. It's got like a little bit of vanilla, and it's a little bit distressed. So it feels old-timey, which I think is so pretty. And so we're just going to come here and put that one right on this guy. So we're working with these 2 here. So our front piece is going to be a little bit smaller, and that is where we are going to put this darling dog. I mean, you guys, that is just so cute. But I feel like he needs some dimensionals. I feel like we want him to be popped up a little bit on this piece. So we're just going to turn him over, give him a couple dimensionals. So there's not a ton of stamping on this card because when you have such super cute little images, like we're just going to let that do. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Obviously perfect for your dog people, right? And then we've got 2 here. So I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this one. And then I've got this other little guy. I don't even know what kind of dog. Is that like a corgi? Look at how cute it is with the little satchel on there, but we're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on him so that he can have a little bit of a pop-up since he's going to be in front of this other dog. So super cute. And he's going to sit just like that. So that, how easy is that? You just pop those guys out and then adhere them, and they are perfectly done there. So we've got these sitting right like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to layer them onto my pieces of cardstock that I've got that little bit of fold on. So this one is going to sit this way. So I want to make sure I have that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this and put a little bit more adhesive on this one. Oop. There we go. Layer him just like that, and then we're going to do the same thing with this blue one, and this blue one's going to sit this way. So we have that fancy fold we're going to work on, and so that's going to sit perfectly just like that. So we've really done almost all the heavy lifting on this card already. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in with that piece of real red cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to layer these so that we can create that fancy fold. And so that part that I scored is just going to come right around there. So I'm going to open this one up. And get that where I want it. You really can't put it in a wrong place because there's no rule to it, right? There's no rule on how it's going to sit. And then this one's going to sit right like that. So it's just layered on there. So we're going to come in and put a little bit of adhesive there. We just want to make sure that we're hiding that cute little guy under there. All right, so we've got that. Now, here's the part that I added on when after I made this the first time. If you look on the back, you can see my work, right? You can see those things, and nobody wants to see that. That feels a little bit undone. And so we're just going to come in with a piece of that blue cardstock, keeping it all the same. And I'm going to put this up, and I'm just going to layer this guy right on top of it. And it's not going to show from the front at all. We don't want it to show from the front at all. Lisa, get your lines up here. So from the front, you won't see that, right? You're not going to see that from the front, but from the back, it just covers up that little bit of work that we did where we had that little edge hanging over on either side. It just makes it look a little bit more finished, and it'll open up like this. And then we're going to take that piece of Whisper White, basic white cardstock. I feel like it could be a drinking game. You know, it's midday, so maybe not, but I feel like we could do a drinking game with this. So we're going to open that up, and I'm just going to come in with a greeting from the stamp set that coordinates. So this Jolly Delivery stamp set coordinates with that designer series paper, and so makes it really cute. So we're just going to come in with Merry Christmas right in the middle of that card, and then look at this, the cutest little paw prints. And we're going to come in with Pecan Pie. And we're just going to give a couple of little paw prints on there because, hello, that is darling. So we've got that all set up. Let's put some adhesive on that. All right, and we'll come right in here, and then this one. And this one, look at how cute that is. Isn't that just darling? So this would be such a cute card, obviously, for any one of your pet friend lovers. Also, I think about like our vet, like we always like to give a little something to them. So wouldn't that be super darling as well? So, so cute. I love that. How easy was that, right? How easy was that card? So cute and so perfect for the holidays. And so now I've got two, so I'll be able to give them to my pet-loving friends. So fun. So that is what I have for you today. I'll be back here every Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday with gift tags for the holidays, and then Wednesdays with a card. And so it'll just be kind of our hangout and chat time. So thank you guys for joining me. Know that I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Make it a great one.